So give us an idea of like when you get a client that's got some sales, they're not really doing much. Like what's that framework look like in the 90 days of so give me an idea so that when the people that are listening here could get a little gold from you for free because that's what you were doing. So before they reach out to you, give them like a high when you take on a client like that. Like what happens? How do you get somebody from that 1,000 to 25K?
Yeah. So the first thing is, there's so many things. So the first thing is we do want to get a good idea of what's their current process. So when we talk, first of all, we talk with them. We're like, hey, how do you get a customer right now from stranger to customer? What does that look like? And most of the time it's going to be like referral traffic. It's going to be maybe some Facebook ads. But a lot of it's kind of word of mouth. That's what they'll say. And that's usually why they're kind of at that $1,000 or $2,000 a month mark. Because they don't really have a way to like turn the faucet on profitably and to actually scale.
Yeah.
So then first we make sure that, if they tell us, because here's the thing, great marketing will never beat bad math, right, Eric? So if they tell us, man, we've tried everything you can imagine with paid ads, we can never get it to work. We can't sell a single product with paid ads. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to help them. Like, cause my core thing, like I'd like to think I'm a good marketer and a good advertiser, but 0 times 100 is still 0. You know what I mean? Totally. So it's like, if they've gotten no result, I'm not the influencer marketing guy. I don't know how to do that. I mean, I know more than the average person, right?
Yeah.
But that's not my thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like, the challenge with people that just jump in and don't understand the media arbitrage and buying media is every click has a value. You might not necessarily be selling product on the clicks that you're buying, but there's a lot of things that could be playing into why you're not getting a sell, right? It could be your marketing. It could be your headlines. It could be you're too expensive or you're paying up too much for the click, right? So there's so many things that you can get into with once you dive in and look at the numbers, and I'm sure you do that all the time. So
exactly. So just look at what's that acquisition look like? What are they currently doing? Is it different than what we do? If it's not different and it looks like there's some promise, I usually can look at an ad account and see right away, like, yep, I could see 3, 4, 5 things like this is done, right? You know what I'm talking about. You just see it instantly. And that's when you get like the chills and you're like, all right, let's go. Let's rock and roll because we know we can help you.
Yeah, I totally can help you. Yeah.
And then the back end, that's the biggest thing with e-commerce that I see. Even successful brands they hate money and they're just not taking it off the table is the back end. What's your follow-up look like? How are you maximizing LTV and, lifetime value of the customer? So many businesses are front end acquisition, hunting mentality, go out, kill, eat, go the next day, kill, eat, and they're not doing anything to farm their current leads and their best prospects, which are their customers. And that's, I think, what sets us apart is like in our coaching programs and even our agency side is like, we just got a back end process that is constantly testing to see how do we eke out another 5% of LTV, another 2%.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, you should be selling for Survey Detective. That's exactly it. It's all about just building your list, right? It's so funny you say that because I see a lot of people do that. They'll buy a click somewhere that's not their media. Yep. And if they don't make money, it's over.
Like right away. Yeah. If they don't eat right away,
they're like putting so much pressure on themselves to make money on the first click. Whereas you don't necessarily have to be profitable on that first click as long as you capture some information. And you can create that connection with what you're describing, your follow-up sequences, because over a period of 7 days, 30 days, 2 years, whatever, what's the value of that customer? Maybe they buy from you every 2 months, but when they do, they spend $250, right? So it's like, then you look at it over a year. So, people
absolutely, man,
don't get that part. So,
and the other thing is understanding, right, that there's a critical mass, that there's two elements, right? One is how long before you capture the value of that lead. And two is what's the critical mass in number of leads before the numbers start working out. Cause I see people all the time. They're like, I got 50 people on my email list. I paid for these clicks. No one's converted. Like, it's 50 people, man. Like
Right.
there's a critical mass where, you know, it's different for every market. It might be 2,000 leads. It might be 3,000. I don't know, where all of a sudden, oh, it starts working.
Totally.
And then, you know, so it's like a
Totally.
psychological like component.
Right.
There's like a mindset
Right.
component.
Plus, like if you think about it, if you're going after cold leads, you're creating a pattern interruption. And what people are looking to do is they're looking to meet a stranger and ask them to marry them that day, and they say yes. You know what I mean? Like it's the same way as like you're asking somebody to buy something when they were scrolling on Facebook and had no idea who you were, and you somehow got their attention. They clicked, they started to look a little bit, they showed some interest, but they just weren't ready to buy. Like those are unbelievable leads. But if you didn't sell it, a lot of people are like, oh, it didn't work.